Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. All right, this photo above, also from the black hole on Twitter, is a black hole. Like, mysteries. We do know that if you go into one, you come out like on the other side of the galaxy, but since nobody's actually been able to do that without dying, as far as we can tell, that would be the end of them. We'll never really know what's on the other end of a black hole. How do we know there is an end? Maybe it just goes in for 100 million years and comes to a stop. You know what I mean? Who knows? We're going to cover 2 or 3 major stories that have come out. And what I've done to make it easy on everybody is I've gone back and pulled some information from previous videos. There's no point in me redoing all the information, if that makes any sense. It's like, let's just put it out there, bring you guys up to speed, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to start off with Johnnie, though. Yes, Johnnie. All right, let's just jump in with both feet and get there. Let's go. I want to start out by telling everybody that I apologize for straying away from the Johnnie mantra. And I got my hand slapped, and let me tell you why. I showed you guys these pictures about one of these guys from the Commonwealth game. He's a swimmer, and his name is Adam Peaty. And apparently, Mr. Peaty is very arrogant and disrespectful. Kind of a jerk. People had a lot to say about him. He made some really not nice comments. That's what I get for straying away from the Johnnie formula. I shouldn't have done it. So I owe everybody an apology. I'm sorry. And Johnnie, I love ya. So you guys were right, and Johnnie will always be number 1 for us. I strayed from the formula. Sorry, Johnnie. All right, let's move on. Princess Anne went to visit the Turf show, which returned after an enforced 2-year break due to COVID. And of course, we know that this is really her element with the horses. We're well aware of that. So all looking good. She really, when I look at her face, look at this next picture that's about to come up. She really looks like her dad. Do you guys not think so? I totally see the resemblance. Yeah. All right, moving on. Moving on to Sophie and Edward. Last night, they presented the 3x3 wheelchair basketball medals, which is really cool. They just started including that in the Commonwealth Games. Inclusivity, ladies and gentlemen, that is the name of the game. Well done. All right, let's move on. All right, next up, Edward, Sophie, and the kids showed up to watch squash this morning. Here they are arriving. Watch this. I love that the family is out and about again and back watching the games. I just love that. All right, let's move on this morning. Now, besides squash, they were also out there to watch netball, and Sophie tried her hand at it. Watch this.
Shout out to scores.
Now, when they were done with the netball, they all went, all 4 of them, to the athletes' village to meet people and meet the volunteers. Doesn't Lady Louise look just lovely? Oh, I love babies. Look at that. You know, there's a lot of athletes and there's a lot of volunteers. And I was under the impression that selfies weren't allowed. Look at this. Not selfies, but I was under the impression they didn't pose for those kinds of photos. I guess they've relaxed the rules, especially during the Commonwealth Games. But I'm glad they're able to go and see everybody. All right, I just want to throw this in here also. Apparently, the Queen sent books to I guess it was like a kindergarten class of some sort. And the kids were holding up the books and thanking the Queen. I think that's just lovely. All right, moving on. All right, do you guys remember when Meghan, invested is the word, in a ethical coffee company, and all this stuff came out about the company, and I did a video on it a previous December called Coffee Anyone, over a year ago. So instead of going through everything again, I just took a snippet from that video to show you, to catch you up on what's going on now with this company. So Watch this. Now, we all know that in order to get the word out that she has invested in this coffee and to get people to buy this coffee, she sent some over to Oprah, and Oprah immediately sent out a tweet. And as Oprah sent out this tweet, my neighbor M sent me a basket of deliciousness, with the crown on it. And this is just the best thing in the world. You have to wonder what the royal family is thinking about all this. Meghan stated she was proud to join with this company because Hannah sources ethically and it's a female-run company. But in actuality, that's not true. There is a man who is a half owner of the company, and his name is Roger. And I find it interesting that in all the statements made by Meghan about this company, she glasses over this guy like he's not even there. Here is a copy of the limited liability company filing from 2019, which shows that the owner is Roger Coppola. And thank you for Toters on Twitter for this. So the website is misleading in itself because it says we are a woman-led, mission-driven wellness company, but actually there is a co-owner who's a man. Now, before you go to their website, be careful because it clearly says that they automatically collect information on you, which God knows what they're doing with it. Reminds me a lot of the Archewell, doesn't it? And they have the right to share your information and sell your information. So be careful before you log on here. So to start with, this company, if they were going to explode onto the market because Meghan was helping them, should have taken this off their website. You're dedicated to giving a shit? Really? Then I started looking at the bags of coffee that they sell. There's 4 different kinds, and each bag of coffee is only 12 ounces. That's right, people, 12 ounces of coffee or whatever it is they're selling in each container. 48 ounces of coffee for $100 before tax. I mean, you have to wonder who the target audience is for these kinds of prices. Most people are having trouble putting food on the table and paying their rent. They're not paying $100 for 48 ounces of coffee. Which brings me to insert one more point here. Didn't Meghan just give a speech to the masses through CNN about the unsung heroes and how we know things are hard and people need food and everything, but yet she wants you to go spend $100 on coffee, of which she'll make a percentage? My goodness. Now, when we're looking at the products, the matcha supposedly gives you Zen-like energy that lasts for days. The coffee, they claim, gives you all energy with no jitters. The golden claims to have anti-inflammatory properties that can help you out if you're having issues there. And last but not least is the chai that they claim will give you a gentle energy boost and is like a warm hug in a mug. Sound familiar? And after making all those claims, they put a disclaimer on the bottom of their website that none of their statements have been approved by the FDA, so therefore they can't prove any of what they say. And for those of you who don't know, the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. It's a federal agency in the United States that tests products to make sure that they're safe and they live up to what they claim. Just so you know where the products are coming from, the coffee is being shipped in from Colombia, the mushrooms are being shipped in from China, and whatever the other ingredient is that they're using is being shipped in from India. Now, the website claims that all the things that are being shipped in from China and India and Colombia are all ethically sourced, but they can't prove that. So apparently the royal family is not viewing this well, as you can see above, because once again, she's using Oprah and she's using the royal connection to try to peddle products. So the royal family is getting upset because when Harry and Meghan decided to step back as senior royals in order to become financially independent, everybody knew it was going to be a bit of a balancing act, but very clear promises were made at the time to uphold the values of Her Majesty and the Crown, and that neither party should be trading on the royal connections to benefit financially. That's why they weren't allowed to use the word royal in their Sussex Royal website. I mean, it's very easy to see how the emojis were trading on the royal connections, and it is not respecting the values of the royal family. And after all, Harry and Meghan did agree to not bring the crown into disrepute. promises were made to uphold these values, and they're not doing it. We all know that the one-year review is coming up in just 3 months. And I think that what's going to happen with this is Megan's going to say that she didn't tell Oprah to do that. Oprah did that on her own, and she had nothing to do with it. Let's be honest, though, Oprah didn't just get this package and put out this Instagram post and tag Meghan Markle in it. I guarantee you Meghan said, listen, I'm trying to do a startup here. I'm going to send this to you. Would you please tweet or Instagram on it? And Oprah said, sure. And even though I showed you this tweet yesterday from Royalty, I'm showing it again because it basically points out everything. It's a fake organic moment between friends, at which time Oprah is hawking the coffee, and it lets you know that for all of the expense and all the money that you have to pay for this coffee, they're only giving 1% to help with charity. I myself love coffee. As you can see from the machine on the counter, that was my early Christmas gift at almost $1,000. That is how you drink coffee if you love coffee. I would never let that instant crap touch my lips. So not long after that, I did a video, I think it was about 4 months later in April of 2021. The other video was December of 2020, where it's a video called Humanitarian Knot. We discussed the earrings, but we also discussed an issue that had come up again with the coffee. Watch this. Before they revamped their website, one of the things that was on there was the above statement that their mushrooms were the highest quality and they're organically grown in China, in natural materials and rigorous testing and blah, blah, blah. So there's a major ingredient, the mushrooms, I believe it is, that's coming from a Chinese supplier that's based in a police state where genocide is taking place. Human rights groups have urged companies to cut business ties with this area because of the appalling abuse, including forced labor. I mean, it's crazy. And Muslims in re-education camps where women are systemically raped. At least 5 organizations have said they will no longer help companies audit their supply chains because workers are unable to speak out because they have fear of reprisals. Now, it's interesting because the coffee brand stopped working with these people several months ago and is now using a U.S. supplier which uses Canadian oats. Now, of course, when asked about this, Meghan's representatives would not respond to a request for comment, but they said she would never work with any organization that doesn't uphold her highest ethical standards. But do you really believe that she invested in this company without vetting it out first? She vets everything, so I'm sorry, I don't believe that. All right, here we go. Thank you to the Sussex Bunyan. Yes, they have been cited. So much for their organic blend. Lead, yes, lead in the product that you're buying from them. That's a little scary. And this problem was found in August of 2021. And this is the first time we're hearing about it. Wow. All right, let's move on. I like doing these kinds of catch-ups because it basically validates my research and shows that what I'm putting up is correct. So June 11th of 2021, I did a video on these very domain names. So again, I've cut a little clip out to bring you up to speed on what I reported. Watch this. So to clear up any confusion, as you can see on GoDaddy, on May 31st, 6 days before the baby was born, they got Princess Lilibet locked in. It's a domain name, and there's absolutely no reason to do that except to use it to make money. Of course, that's the first thing you want to do when you have a baby. Hey, Harry, go lock in that domain name. And for those who are questioning, here's what they did for Archie. The exact same thing. Archie Harrison, Prince Archie Harrison. They don't even have those titles. I thought she didn't like titles. It's amazing. And of course, this one came up, Lilibet Diana. And of course, the date is on the 6th and everybody's arguing about the time. But in the end, it doesn't matter because they already had the domain name locked in 6 days earlier. So if anything, you guys know that you can trust my research, that I'm not just pulling stuff out of my ear, that I'm really researching and looking stuff up. All right, now let's move on to the next good thing. All right, next up, I just had to throw this in here because I so agree with this. Jojo March pointed out that she's getting tired of the constant attacks on the members of the British royal family. Why are the press regurgitating old news stories? That's absolutely true. It's like they're trying to stir things up. Why are they doing that? And with that, I want to make a comment. When Harry and Meghan were attacking the British royal family and they were throwing around claims with no receipts and accusing everybody of racism, and they literally, anybody who doesn't agree with them, they've accused of racism or sexism or something. But the funny thing is, now that the revenge book has come out and the tables have turned, everybody's screaming foul. They didn't mind it when the royal family was being attacked. But now that it's coming out about their true behavior, people are getting all upset. I guess she doesn't like it when the shoe is on the other foot. All right, let's keep going now. All right, now the stories are starting to come out that Meghan had an issue when she went to get out of the car on her wedding day because her heel apparently got twisted in her veil, okay? Now, there was supposed to be a military escort who was responsible for opening the door and, stepping up and offering to help her out. But apparently, she was rude to him the day before, and he was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. He said, I'm not helping you. Now, there was an elderly person by the car door, and he went to help her get out when she got caught in her veil. And what did she do? She slapped his hand. Watch this. So who believes the allegations that she was rude to the person the day before? This is what's being alleged in the revenge book. Who believes that? Because I have, people, I keep hearing, people are just misunderstanding her. But when you have people from the wedding, people from the family, people from his family, people from her family, old coworkers, old friends, everybody has something nasty to say, and she's the common denominator. And everybody wants just to believe that it's just, a witch hunt. I don't think so. All right, let's move on. I was honored to be recognized by the body language guy for something that I found in the wedding video. As I'm reading the revenge book, I was reading what Tom Bauer said about what happened at the wedding, and I decided to go back and review. Now, some of you are new. Some of you might not have seen the video. So I now have the clips of them going in and coming out just to show you what was in those videos. Watch this. So here they are walking out, and as you can see, the children that walked in are all walking out together. There's George and Charlotte, and they're all leaving together, the children, in a group behind the bride and groom. Just the way they entered. Here they come. You can see them clearly in the background. Now let's look at Harry and Meghan's wedding. I didn't pay any attention to this when the wedding was going on. I guess it just, I missed it. Okay, here we go. Here they are leaving, and George and Charlotte are not with them. As you can see, they've been separated from the other kids. And I was like, okay, where are they? There they are, holding on to Catherine and William's hands, being walked back down the aisle. Interesting. With that being said, and knowing that that didn't happen at Catherine and William's wedding, that didn't happen at Eugenie's wedding, but at Meghan and Harry's wedding, the children had to be taken by the nanny once they went behind the screen and then handed to their parents coming back down the aisle so that Jessica Mulroney's children couldn't be around them. What does that say? And here's the other video of them coming down the aisle that I showed you. Watch this. So let's look a little closer now. You notice she's smiling, and as soon as Charlotte goes walking by, she drops the smile, stares at Charlotte, and then a big smile shows up on her face again when she sees Ivy. It just happens for a second, but watch this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's only there for a second, but her mask slips. Look closely again at her face when Charlotte goes walking by. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we are going to end this video with more pictures from the Commonwealth Games, just like we did before. So buckle up, here we go. All right, you guys, once again, lots of information. What do you think about the coffee containing lead that they were selling? That's, I don't even know what to say about that. What do you think about the domain names? What do you think about the body language guy confirming my research and the stuff I found on the video? Yeah. All right. Don't forget to leave those comments below. You know I want to read them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be notified when I upload content. Don't forget, if you've already hit the subscribe button, to double check and make sure you're still subscribed, because apparently YouTube is still unsubscribing people and we don't know why. Don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. And for those of you who have donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button on my account, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.